From Amateur Radio Newsline Report number 2214, these are the Ham Nation headlines for Wednesday, April 8th, 2020. If taking your license exam seems like a remote possibility right now, you should know that, well, it is. With the approval of the FCC, the first technician class license exam during the pandemic lockdown took place in the United States on March 26th remotely. It was conducted online in a virtual test environment.
Joseph Talbot of Nevada is now known as KJ7NNU, all because he took and passed his technician class license exam on the 26th of March. The test was given with the support of the W5YI Volunteer Examiner Coordinator in Arlington, Texas. It took place in a remote online environment where everyone was online, even the proctor who oversaw the test via video conferencing software. Joseph, who had held a license before, learned one day later that he had qualified to become a technician once again. WA6 VPS reported on Twitter that the trial run was being considered a success and opened up the possibility of others taking tests during this period of lockdown from the global pandemic. He noted that remote testing has been permitted since 2014. In fact, the Anchorage Amateur Radio Club's volunteer examiners in Alaska have been conducting exams like this, but until now, a proctor still had to be physically present. Marcel Steiber, AI6MS, a volunteer examiner who lives in California, posted on Twitter on March 28th that the KJ7NNU test run gives other hams hope. He wrote, quote, "Stay tuned. We hope to have a scalable solution available for broader use soon." End quote. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Ralph Squillace, KK6ITB.
Because extraordinary circumstances inspire extraordinary measures, New Zealand hams are now able to use an extraordinarily different call sign.
No, you're not hearing things. If you're operating from New Zealand, ZL has just become ZM. And for good reason. Radio Spectrum Management has approved a request by the New Zealand Association of Radio Transmitters to treat COVID-19 lockdown as a special event, which, of course, would warrant a special prefix. According to Infoline, the association's newsletter, the purpose of the change is to make New Zealand amateurs a bit more prominent on the air and to make the world more aware of New Zealand in general. Yes, it's also a little extra touch to help everyone relieve that boredom that sometimes comes with having to stay in the same spot 24/7. The newsletter noted that the alternate prefix was suggested by Paul ZL4TT, or is that ZM4TT? So if you happen to be DXing and hear a New Zealand amateur calling QRZ with a ZM prefix, you're not hearing things. You've just copied one more New Zealand amateur who's brightening things up a bit by changing things up a bit. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jim Meechan, ZM2BHF.
Now more than ever, it's important to celebrate amateur radio, even if you don't have access to HF.
Get ready for World Amateur Radio Day, which marks the 95th year since the founding of the International Amateur Radio Union. There will be plenty of action for hams who use Echolink or IRLP as their main modes. This year is the 5th year an international group of hams will be operating in a 12-hour net taking place on the Echolink/VoIP system starting at 1600 UTC on April 18th on the Dewdrop-In conference server node 355800. The special event coordinator, John Doricke, W2JLD, said there will be a special event QSL card, along with a certificate marking the net's 5th year of operation. 9 control operators around the world will be helping make this happen. Elsewhere, be listening for the special event call W7W on the World Conference Server IRLP 9251. Tom Harrington, AF7J, told Newsline that hams will be calling QRZ starting at 1600 UTC. Check-ins will also be possible on IRLP node 9109 or All-Star 43609 and through repeaters linked to those nodes. Commemorative certificates can be emailed upon request. Paper QSLs can be requested through AA7WB along with a stamped self-addressed envelope. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
And a reminder that the nominating period for the 2020 Bill Pasternak WA6ITF Newsline Young Ham of the Year Award is now open. You'll find the form on our website, arnewsline.org, under the Awards tab. The award will be presented Saturday, August 22nd at the Huntsville Hamfest in Alabama. And that's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline, your independent source for amateur radio news for 4 decades and counting at arnewsline.org. with Ralph Squalacci, KK6ITB, Jim Meechan, ZM2BHF, Stephen Kenford, N8WB, Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team across the globe. I'm Don Wellbanks, AE5DW. 7-3. We'll see you next time here on Ham Nation.